My husband's secret TikTok account exposed our marriage. I stared at the candle flickering between us, watching wax drip like the tears I'd held back all day. The anniversary dinner I'd planned for weeks sat untouched, Ryan's favorite coq au vin going cold while my stomach twisted itself into knots. 3 million views, I whispered. 3 million people thinking I'm your wife? I forced myself to meet his eyes. Did you really think I wouldn't find out? Ryan reached for my hand, instinctive after 5 years. I pulled back. Sam, honey. Don't honey me, I dabbed at my eye. I recreated our first date today, even burned the cookies on purpose because you said it was cute. And instead of celebrating, I find out our life is some straight fantasy on TikTok. It's not a fantasy, Ryan said, voice cracking. Our love is real. Except for the part where you pretend I'm a woman. The sharpness in my voice made him flinch. Damn it. Even angry, I hated seeing him hurt. The post-it notes, the slow dancing, the coffee with the foam hearts, that's us. But you sharing it like you're ashamed of who you really are. Ryan's hand twitched towards mine, our silent signal for, I'm scared, but I've got you. I nearly reached back, but took a sip of wine instead. The wedding business was dying during the pandemic, he said softly. I wanted to share something hopeful. Our love story was too beautiful to keep private, and people connected with it. I snorted. Yeah, I saw the comments. Husband goals. Where can I find a man like this? Little do they know. Ryan's lips twitched. You have to admit, it's a little funny. Don't. I tried to glare, but a traitorous smile tugged at my lips. I'm mad at you. I know. He reached up, fixing my collar, a reflex that still sent a shiver down my spine. Before I could stop myself, I wiped a spot of sauce from his lip. We froze, caught in that familiar intimacy. For a second, we were one of his TikToks. The lingering touch, the way we cared even in the middle of a fight. A TV network reached out, Ryan murmured. They want a show about our wedding planning business, about me and my wife. I pressed my palms flat against the table, steadying myself. And what did you tell them? The look in his eyes said it all. This wasn't just about viral videos anymore. It was about our future, our life together. Somehow, I had to decide if I was ready to become the wife who didn't exist. I spent the next week trapped between fury and fascination. Every notification on Ryan's phone made me flinch, knowing it was probably another comment from someone swooning over my husband. My husband, who was apparently #husbandgoals for millions of strangers who didn't even know he was married to a man. Just look at this, I said, sprawled on our office couch while Ryan met with a client over Zoom. I held up my phone. Ryan, the way you cherish your wife gives me hope for true love. If only they knew you leave wet towels on the bed. Ryan muted himself to throw a pen at me. I made the bed yesterday. After I reminded you 3 times. But I was already picking up the pen, uncapping it, and setting it back on his desk exactly how he liked it. Some habits ran too deep to break, even when I was mad. The meeting ended with another booking, our 3rd this week. The business was finally recovering, thanks to those damn videos. Couples wanted the Ryan they saw online, the hopeless romantic who drew hearts in coffee foam and wrote love notes every morning. They're not entirely wrong, you know, I said, watching Ryan edit his latest video, my favorite French toast, captioned, making her favorite breakfast. You do all those sweet things. You're just lying about who you do them for. Ryan's fingers stilled. I never lie about loving you, Sam. No, just about who I am. I moved behind him, running my fingers through his hair. He leaned into my touch, and my heart clenched. Which is why I don't understand how you can... The doorbell cut me off. Ryan quickly closed his laptop as the doorman's voice crackled through the intercom. Mr. Wang, Miss Martinez from Network 9 is here to see you and your spouse. My stomach dropped. The TV producer? Now? She's early, Ryan said, straightening his tie. The meeting wasn't supposed to be until you had time to warn me? I backed away. I'll clear out. Let you maintain your straight married fantasy. Sam, wait! Forget it. I disappeared into the bedroom, heart pounding. Through the wall, I heard Ryan's warm, practiced greeting, then a woman's voice. Your TikToks have exactly the kind of authentic emotion we're looking for. Real love, real moments. I had to bite back a bitter laugh. About that, Ryan started, his voice carrying that nervous catch. The one before dropping a bomb at family dinners. There's something you should know about my spouse. Oh, we know all about Sam. Silence. I pressed my ear to the door, barely breathing. You know? Ryan's voice was barely audible. Of course. Ms. Martinez's tone was matter-of-fact. We do our research. We know Samuel Lee is your husband, not your wife. We know you've been married 5 years, met planning his sister's wedding, and run the business together, and we think it's perfect. I nearly fell through the door. Ryan's sharp inhale matched mine. Perfect? He echoed. Think about it. A wedding planner living a double life online, sharing his real love story but hiding his husband's identity. The tension, the secrecy, the reveal. It's reality TV gold. We want to document everything. Your business, your relationship, the challenges of maintaining this charade. Then, in the season finale, you reveal the truth to your millions of followers. I didn't realize I'd stepped into the room until I was standing in the doorway. Ryan reached for me immediately, our silent signal. I'm scared, but I've got you. And this time, I let him. Ms. Martinez's smile was bright, predatory. Ah, Sam, perfect timing. What do you think about turning your love story into prime-time entertainment? Ryan's grip tightened around mine as I looked between them. My husband, who had hidden our love behind a filter, and the woman offering to expose it to the world. The irony would have been funny if I wasn't suddenly terrified. I think, I said slowly, feeling Ryan's pulse racing against my wrist, that we're going to need a much stronger drink for this conversation. Life became a dance of hiding and revealing. More often than not, I was behind the camera, directing Ryan as he recreated moments we'd lived naturally just days before. Tilt your head more when you reach for the coffee mug, I instructed, watching through the screen. That's how you always look at me in the morning, like you can't believe I'm real. Because I can't. Ryan met my gaze, his soft brown eyes still making my stomach flip after 5 years. Even when I'm pretending, it's always you I'm looking at. Save the romance for your followers, Mr. Viral. But I smiled as I hit record, watching him perform our morning routine for strangers who thought they knew our love story. Hiding our marriage became an unexpected aphrodisiac. Every client meeting ached with controlled desire, every shared glance a secret promise. The TV crew trailing Ryan only made it worse. Watching him perform our intimate moments for the world awakened something possessive in me. The arch should curve like this, Ryan explained to the Miller-Thompson wedding party, sketching on his tablet. I was supposed to be taking notes, but I couldn't stop watching his hands. The same hands that had traced every inch of me this morning before the cameras rolled. He caught me staring, lips twitching. Under the table, his foot found mine, our silent signal for, I want you. Sam, his voice remained perfectly professional. The color swatches? Right, in the supply closet. I'll help, Ryan said smoothly, already standing. The moment the door closed behind us, he had me pressed against it, his mouth hot and demanding. You were biting your lip again, he murmured between kisses. You know what that does to me. Maybe that was the point. I tugged his tie, swallowing his groan. He tasted like his morning coffee, the same one he'd made for TikTok, drawing a heart in the foam, those hands now sliding under my shirt. A knock made us jump apart. Mr. Wang, the network needs you for the next segment. Ryan dropped his forehead to my shoulders. I hate this. The hiding or the interruptions? Both. His lips brushed my neck. Mostly the hiding. My phone buzzed, another comment on Ryan's latest TikTok. @BeachBlonde97. The coffee trick was cute, but you did it better in college. Remember our morning routine? Kissy face. Ryan tensed. I held up my phone. Want to tell me about your persistent fan? Sam. Another knock. Mr. Wang, we're losing light. The rest of the day was torture. I watched Ryan film segment after segment, performing our love story for millions, while I remained in the shadows. The comments poured in. Husband goals, heart eyes. Your wife is so lucky. @BeachBlonde97. The way you arrange flowers hasn't changed. Still exactly like you did for me sophomore year. Winky face. The last one made my blood boil. During our next venue walkthrough, I couldn't stop myself from being a little more hands-on than necessary. The garden terrace offers multiple ceremony configurations, Ryan told our clients, but his voice hitched when I accidentally brushed against him while checking the railing. The autumn light is perfect here, I added innocently, stretching past him to point at the arch, my movement pressing us together. His sharp inhale was satisfying. Two could play this game. The tension built all week. Every shared elevator ride tested our willpower. Every time Ryan rolled up his sleeves during meetings, I lost track of what I was saying. We started inventing excuses to check inventory or inspect venues, anything for a stolen moment alone. This is ridiculous, Ryan gasped as we broke apart in the wine cellar of our newest venue partner. We're married. We shouldn't have to sneak around like teenagers. Speak for yourself, I mumbled against his neck. I never did this much sneaking as a teenager. His laugh turned into a groan as I nipped at his pulse. Sam, we have clients upstairs. Then you better be quiet. But @BeachBlonde97 was determined to interrupt even our stolen moments. Her comments grew bolder. That candlelit dinner setup, just like our anniversary in junior year. Still wearing the same cologne? Brings back memories. Kissy face. Can't wait to see you at VidCon next month. I'll be there in that red dress you loved so much. The last one came through during a tense production meeting. Ryan's face paled as he read it. Everything okay, darling? Miss Martinez asked, voice dripping with faux concern. Just remembering a prior commitment, Ryan managed. I kicked him under the table. He caught my ankle between his, that familiar I'm scared, but I've got you gesture, somehow making everything worse. The notifications kept coming. Remember how you used to hide your real feelings? Some things never change. Still playing straight for the camera? Should I tell your followers who you were really looking at in our college photos? Each one felt like a ticking bomb. That night, after the crew left, I found Ryan in our office, scrolling through old photos. That's her? I asked, looking at an image of a younger Ryan with his arm around a pretty blonde, but his expression caught my eye. He wasn't looking at her. He was looking past her. Something you want to tell me? I tried to tease, but my voice shook. Sam. He reached for me, but I was already moving away. Had he been meeting up with followers? Was this whole charade hiding something worse? I have to check on the Wang Williams consultation, I muttered, heading for the door, but I paused in the hallway when Ryan's phone rang. How did you get this number? His voice was low, tense. Jessica, stop. That was 10 years ago. No, I won't meet you. I'm married. What do you mean you know? Who told you about... I stepped into the doorway, heart pounding. Ryan's face went pale. Sam's your husband. The voice on the phone was just loud enough for me to hear. I figured it out from your videos. All those little gestures. They're exactly the same as when we dated in college, except now you're performing them for millions while hiding who you really are. Does Sam know you're still ashamed of being gay? Ryan's phone slipped from his hand. I caught it, an instinct, always catching each other's fumbles, and brought it to my ear. Listen, Jessica, I said, my voice steady despite my heart racing. I don't know what happened between you and Ryan in college, but... He didn't tell you? Her voice was sharp. We dated for 2 years while he was deep in the closet. I was his beard before he finally came out. And now he's using your love story to play straight for likes? History repeats, I guess." Ryan shook his head, reaching for me. "Sam, please." "If you expose him," I cut in, still holding Ryan's desperate gaze. "You're not just outing him, you're outing us. Our marriage, our life. Is that really what you want?" "What I want," she said, "is for him to stop hiding. Or I start posting our old photos. Let's see how his perfect wife narrative holds up then." The line went dead. Ryan's hand still hung between us, trembling slightly. "In college," he started, voice raw, "I was scared, lost. Jessica was your safety net," I finished. "Like these videos are now?" "No." He crossed the space between us in 2 steps. "What we have is more real than any viral video, more real than anything I've ever had. Sam, please believe that." I looked at him, really looked at him, at the man who had spent a year sharing our love story with the world, even if he changed the pronouns. At my husband, who still reached for me instinctively, who couldn't stop loving me even while pretending to love someone else. "I believe you," I said softly, "but I think it's time we talked about why you're still hiding, because I'm tired of it." Behind us, a notification pinged. Another TikTok comment. Another fan is falling in love with the straight version of our story. And now, a ticking clock as Ryan's past threatened to expose our present. The irony wasn't lost on me. Our biggest threat wasn't the lies we told, but the truth someone else was ready to reveal. I mapped every blind spot in our house, mastered quick escapes, learned to dive behind furniture. Our home felt like a stage where I was the secret prop nobody was supposed to see. "Perfect," the director's voice echoed through the kitchen. "Now do the heart in the foam one more time, with more longing." From the hidden corner, I watched Ryan remake my morning coffee for the 6th time. "This is hell," I whispered when he found me in the greenhouse during lunch break, humidity fogging the glass walls. "Watching you perform our life for strangers?" "I know," his hands found my waist, "but the network can go to hell too." I straightened his tie, fingers lingering on his chest, especially after what they said about the finale reveal. They wanted Ryan to announce his wife was actually his husband during the season finale. A ratings grab masquerading as representation. The thought made me sick. At least my parents went home, I sighed. Their visit had been a nightmare of hiding in closets and sneaking around. Though Mum keeps texting me to ask why I looked suspiciously flushed at dinner. Ryan's laugh rumbled against my chest. "Maybe because someone couldn't keep their hands to themselves in the coat closet." "You started it," I muttered, but his lips found that spot below my ear, making coherent thoughts difficult. A sharp knock shattered the moment. "Mr. Wang, the VidCon preparations?" Right, VidCon, where Jessica had promised to make her appearance. The network was pushing Ryan to give a keynote, his first major public speech since going viral. They wanted him to talk about authentic love stories, of all things. That night, after the crew left, I helped him practice. He paced our bedroom while I sprawled on the bed, watching him gesture with nervous energy I'd fallen in love with. "Love is about perfect moments," he recited. "About coffee with heart-shaped foam and surprise date nights." "What about what's real?" I sat up. "The way you actually make my coffee every morning because you know I'm useless before caffeine? The way you learned to fold fitted sheets because I hate doing it? The way you still leave wet towels on the bed even though it drives me crazy?" "Hey, I'm getting better about the towels." "Missing the point, babe." He sank onto the bed beside me, shoulder warm against mine. "I know what's real. Every time I make those videos, every gesture, every moment, it's all for you. I just changed the pronouns." "But that's exactly it." I turned to face him. "You're sharing our love story with millions, but you're editing out the best part." "The best part?" "Us." I caught his hand, threading our fingers together. "The real us. The way you kiss me in the morning before coffee because you know I'm too sleepy to protest your morning breath. The way you proposed, in the middle of an argument about paint colors because you said even fighting with me was better than being at peace with anyone else. His free hand cupped my face, thumb brushing my cheek. You remember what I said? Of course! I always remember throwing the paint swatch book at your head before I said yes. His laugh was shaky. God, I love you. Prove it. His kiss was answer enough. Deep, sure, real. When we broke apart, his eyes were bright with something like decision. The VidCon speech? He said slowly. What if... But before he could finish, both our phones lit up. Jessica had posted again. A video from college. Ryan at a party, his arm around her, but his eyes fixed on someone off camera. The caption made my blood run cold. Time to stop hiding, Ryan. VidCon seems like the perfect place to tell your story. The real one. Ryan's grip on my hand tightened. Sam. No. I pulled him closer, feeling his heart racing against mine. She doesn't get to tell our story. That's ours to tell. But the network, the contract. Screw the contract. I'm done hiding. I'm done watching my husband pretend to love some imaginary wife when I'm right here. I'm done sneaking around our own house, diving behind furniture, pretending these cameras aren't stealing our real moments to create fake ones. His forehead creased. What are you saying? I'm saying we tell the truth. At VidCon, before Jessica can, before the network's carefully planned finale. We tell it our way. We'd lose everything, he whispered. The show, the followers, maybe even clients. Or we gain everything. I squeezed his hand. No more hiding. No more pretending. Just us, telling our real love story. It's either us or the show. I said softly. Make a decision, but I'm done hiding. Ryan inhaled sharply, then let it out slow. Okay, he said. Okay, but if we're doing this, we're doing it together, I finished. He searched for my face, then nodded. I love you, the real you, the whole you, every impossible, beautiful part of you, and I want the whole world to know it, even if it costs us everything. His smile was sure. You are everything. The network called an emergency meeting after Ryan missed his morning segment. From our bedroom, I watched him pace the living room, phone pressed to his ear. I understand the contract implications, he said, voice tight, but we need to renegotiate the terms. Ms. Martinez's shrill voice carried even from where I stood. The reveal is scheduled for the season finale. We've built the entire marketing campaign around it. Then change the marketing, Ryan said, steadier now. Sam and I are done hiding. We're going public at VidCon together. I stepped in just as he ended the call. How'd she take it? About as well as expected. He ran a hand through his hair, messing up the network-approved style. They're threatening to sue breach of contract. Let them try, I said, feigning confidence. What jury would side against true love? Ryan's laugh was hollow. A jury that watches our videos? The ones where I've been lying to millions? You weren't lying about the love, I reminded him, just about who you were loving. The truth was, I was terrified. Not of the network, the contract, or Jessica's threats, but of what would happen to us when the carefully built illusion crumbled. We could lose everything, I whispered. Ryan took my hands. I know, but I'd rather lose everything than lose you. He pressed his forehead to mine. And I think that's what would happen if we keep this up. I see it in your eyes. You're slipping away from me. He wasn't wrong. The thrill of sneaking around had faded, leaving only the ache of invisibility. The more he performed our love, the less real it felt. I'm sorry, he murmured. It started as a way to save our business, but then it just spiraled. I know, I breathed him in, but I can't keep watching my husband pretend to love someone who doesn't exist. Our phones chimed simultaneously. A text from Ms. Martinez. Do not go public at VidCon. Finale reveal must proceed as scheduled. Ryan's grip tightened. What do we do? I met his gaze. What we should have done from the start. Tell the truth. I woke up to an empty bed and the sound of Ryan's voice from the living room. A quick glance at my phone showed I'd slept through 3 alarms and a dozen texts from Ryan. "I'll be there," he was saying as I stumbled into the living room. "Yes, I understand the timing is crucial. No, I haven't forgotten my talking points." He looked up as I entered, his eyes wide and apologetic. "Sam, I'm so sorry. The network moved up my VidCon speech. I have to leave now." "But we were supposed to go together," I said, suddenly fully awake. "To tell everyone together." Ryan's expression shifted, a flash of something, relief, crossing his face. "The network insisted I go alone. They're sending a car." "Since when do you do what the network insists?" I crossed my arms, studying him. "What's going on, Ryan?" He hesitated, then sighed. "They're threatening to blacklist us in the industry if we break contract. No more weddings, no more clients. Everything we've built would be gone." "So you're going to keep hiding?" I couldn't keep the hurt from my voice. "No," he ran a hand through his hair. "I don't know what I'm going to do, but I have to go, or they'll sue us into oblivion." Before I could respond, a horn honked outside, the network's car. "I'll figure something out," Ryan promised, grabbing his jacket. "Trust me, Sam." But as I hurried out the door, I couldn't ignore the sinking feeling in my stomach. This wasn't the man who'd promised to tell our truth just days ago. This was the man who'd hidden our marriage for likes and views. I grabbed my phone, typing furiously. "Are you seriously going to keep lying about us? About me?" His response came almost immediately. "Please, trust me. I know what I'm doing." I stared at the screen, hurt and anger warring in my chest. Then, with sudden clarity, I made a decision. If Ryan wouldn't tell our truth, I would. VidCon's main stage was a sea of phones, every screen ready to capture content of the viral TikTok wedding planner. I stood at the back of the crowd, hat pulled down, watching as Ryan adjusted his mic. He looked unfairly handsome in that suit I'd helped him choose yesterday. Our last moment of unity before everything fell apart. Ms. Martinez spotted me as I tried to slip closer to the stage. "What are you doing here?" she hissed, grabbing my arm. "You're supposed to be at home." "Watching my husband lie about our marriage on national television?" I shook off her hand. "I don't think so." "We have a contract." "I never signed anything." I moved past her, pushing through the crowd. On stage, the host was introducing Ryan. "The man who's shown us what true romance looks like, whose love story has captured millions of hearts." I caught a flash of red in the audience. Jessica, keeping her promise. Her phone was already raised, probably ready to post the college photos the moment Ryan started his speech. But Ryan wasn't looking at the teleprompter. He was looking at the crowd, scanning faces until his eyes locked with mine. "Love," he began, his voice steady, "isn't what you think it is." The audience quieted. In the wings, Ms. Martinez's tablet clattered to the floor. "Love isn't perfect moments crafted for cameras," Ryan continued. "It's not carefully framed videos or scripted speeches. It's not even coffee with hearts drawn in the phone, though that's definitely part of it." A ripple of laughter. I pressed my hand to my mouth, heart pounding. "Love is..." Ryan's eyes found mine again. "Love is burning cookies on purpose, because your partner found your first baking disaster endearing. It's learning to fold fitted sheets because they hate doing it. It's slow dancing in the kitchen at 3 a.m. because that's the only time you can be truly yourselves." The teleprompter kept scrolling, forgotten. Ms. Martinez was frantically signaling to the tech team, but Ryan ignored all of them. "For the past year, I've been sharing my love story with millions of people, and everything you've seen is real. The morning coffees, the surprise dates, the little notes hidden around the house. But I've been lying about one thing." He turned towards the back of the room, towards me. "Sam," he said softly, then louder. "Sam, please come up here." Ms. Martinez lunged for me, but I was already moving. Security tried to stop me at the stage stairs, but Ryan was there, taking my hand, pulling me into the spotlight. "The person I love," Ryan's voice cracked, "the person who makes every moment perfect just by being in it, who knows all my flaws and loves me anyway, is my husband, Sam." The silence was deafening. Phones lowered. In the front row, Jessica stood up, her red Jess bright as a warning sign. Then, from somewhere in the middle of the crowd, "Wait, so all those romantic gestures were for your husband? That's even better!" Laughter rippled through the audience. More voices joined in. "The way he fixed that boutonniere in last week's video. I knew that was too skilled to be straight." "Does this mean we get to see the real coffee hearts now?" "Okay, but can we talk about how gorgeous they are together?" Ryan's hand squeezed mine, trembling slightly. I squeezed back, stunned by the reaction. "But the hiding," he continued, speaking directly to the audience now, "that stops today, because love, real love, doesn't need filters. It doesn't need careful editing or changed pronouns or scripted moments. Real love just needs truth." He turned to me fully, those brown eyes swimming with tears. "And the truth is, I love you, Sam. Not for the cameras, not for the likes, not for anyone else. Just for us." I didn't realize I was crying until he wiped my cheek with his thumb. "Even if it costs us everything?" I whispered. His smile was radiant. "You are everything." When he kissed me, right there under the spotlight, the roar of applause was deafening. Phones flew up again, capturing the moment. Through my tears, I saw Jessica lower her phone, a small smile on her face. "Now this is the reality show I want to watch," someone shouted. In the end, it was worth it. Our show, Just Married, debuted to record ratings. 2 wedding planners in love, helping others find their happy endings. Our followers tripled, drawn to our real story, not a scripted version. The network, once ready to sue, now sent champagne weekly. Even Jessica became a supporter, using her platform to promote the show and sharing Ryan's coming out journey. The morning after the premiere, Ryan filmed his usual TikTok. I joined him, drawing a heart in the foam. This time, his caption read, "Day 547 of sharing why I love my husband." Jessica's comment was the first. "Finally living your truth. Proud of you both. Hard." I pulled Ryan into a kiss. No cameras, no pretense, just us, just love. "Worth it?" I asked. His answer was another kiss, tasting of coffee and forever. Some moments don't need to be shared to be perfect. But we shared them anyway, because love is always better unfiltered. How far would you go to protect your dreams and ambitions? And at what point does the cost to your most intimate relationships become too high to bear? Thanks for watching. Consider subscribing to become a part of our Rainbow Force and stay wholesome.